So Wizard knows this car well because I bought it on the reality show. If you don't know, airing on FYI this week for the next 4 weeks is a show Wizard and I did about a year ago, where I bought 24 cars over the span of like 6 months, including this Plymouth Grand Fury. It has a Dodge grill on it because the Plymouth grill fell off, typical Chrysler. But yes, it's having some problems. So it cranks really slow and then it starts to smoke from the wires. I don't think that's normal. Oh, maybe I should turn the sirens off. There we go. Oh, don't start right up. Well, yeah, so here's what I'm noticing, Wizard, and it's starting up now because it's on camera and naturally cooperating, but I guess if you leave it for a few minutes, the heat in the engine bay, it kind of does something. It heat soaks the starter, the wire going to a ground somewhere. This one gets, yeah, it's hot, real hot, but sometimes hot enough to smoke.
So you got two things going on there. Your starter's getting heat soaked and your fuel is boiling out of your carburetor. So it's taking longer to crank to get it started on a weak starter.
Well, you can solve that easily enough.
Yep.
And the episode will be coming up. This is one of the most fun episodes I did on car issues.
I look forward to it. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I actually went to the police academy and trained at their pursuit driving course in this car, which was amazing. But Wizard, you can take care of this for me whenever you get a chance.
Sounds good.
No rush, not urgent, but I am very worried about my 911 Turbo, and you said you have some information for me.
Have some information.
Okay, let's check it out. So for those who'd missed my latest track day fail last week, I took my 911 Turbo to the track, which is apparently built to go to the track, and like every other 911 I've taken to the track, it broke badly. It started spewing coolant everywhere. My friend was behind me in a Camaro ZL1 that has a recording action cam for a track cam, and it got everything, coated his car with coolant. They had to shut down the track for about 20 minutes to clean up my mess, which I'm very sorry about that. My apologies.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem.
So, what is going on with my 911 Turbo, Wizard?
Well, there's all kinds of metal coolant pipes that are on this engine. They just glued them on from the factory.
Glued them on.
Glued them on.
So metal on metal, and the only thing holding them together is glue.
It's a press fit with glue. And with heat and pressure and age, especially on a track condition that sustain high RPMs, it just boosh, blows it out.
Pop goes the weasel. But it looks like the offending culprit, you can see it, huh?
Yeah,
you took some things apart?
Right behind the alternator there.
There's my dead pipe.
There it is, it's an elbow.
And it looks like you can just glue that and slide it back in. That's how it was, right?
A couple $100, I could repair that and put it back on the road for you.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
But I don't recommend that.
Why not?
Another one's going to blow eventually, especially if you go track it again.
So there's more than one of those?
Oh, yes.
Like a whole spider web of
There's several,
coolant lines? Probably because this engine was supposed to be air-cooled originally, and then they had to figure out how to water cool it.
And the fix for it is the motor gets dropped.
What?
Send off all those pipes and have them welded or pinned.
That doesn't sound cheap.
Oh, about $3 by the time you're done.
$3,000. You've got to be kidding me.
$1,800 to pull the motor.
Oh.
And around $1,000 to have them weld it. And
You got to be kidding me. But if I want the car back right now, it'd just be $200.
yeah, I mean, but I won't guarantee that it won't blow another one.
Well, you can't guarantee anything.
It's not my fault.
You got a little mad on the last one because a few people in the comments thought this was the Wizard's fault when it's not. It's Porsche's fault and Father Time's fault. And you went on a little rant. I had a good time supercutting that.
Yeah.
If you saw it on Facebook and Twitter, I'll do a little clip here.
I have some beef with some people on YouTube, the trolls, the losers, the people who have no life. It's all wrong. Baseless claims again. Is that the Wizard's fault? Did the Wizard do that? No. You guys need to stop with that crap.
Yeah, what'd you think of my little supercut there?
That was crazy. A lot of people loved it.
And then you ended up making a t-shirt out of it and selling a bunch of
I
t-shirts.
sold quite a few of them already.
So he's made lemonade out of that, but none of this is the Wizard's fault. It's just stuff. Stuff happens. Yeah, we better do it, and it'll be fun to see the motor come out. And then actually, I've taken a Porsche motor out. I just haven't put it back in. We put in that monstrosity of an LS engine. So, well, I guess something to look forward to. And you've got some other projects here. I'm looking at my big Woody Wagoneer.
Yep.
You've got the interior all apart. So what's going on with this?
You had issues with it where speakers were cutting out, and making crackling noises. End up finding out that the actual radio itself is bad.
But I found a retro sound one that's supposed to fit in there with some modifications, and then I have auxiliary and getting speakers while I'm at it. I'm going to start kind of restoring this Wagoneer to make it more usable, because I really do like driving it, but I don't want to over-restore this thing like so many other Wagoneers and make it super valuable to where I'm scared to drive it anymore. I was thinking I was just going to fix the rust on it. I have the repair panels, then leaving everything else as is, but I might as well do a full repaint and replace this wood paneling just on the outside, but then leave it alone, get it drivable and nice to where I can just enjoy it. But I'm not in a big hurry to get this thing back. It's kind of a fall and winter vehicle, you know, where I can haul pumpkins back from the pumpkin patch. I don't know what I'd do with it. Pose like a model or something. I don't know. Wear flannel.
Lumberjack.
Yes, a lumberjack. Lumbersexual. That's what I want to be in this thing. Lumbersexual, I think is what they call it. But it's summertime, so what I really want are convertibles and sports cars. And I'd really love to have that Maserati Quattroporte back. And we finally got what you need.
We have a transmission in.
Yes, let's check it out. So, my 2007 Maserati Quattroporte, which is supposed to have the good transmission, not the horrible single-clutch Ferrari-based one that fails all the time. The clutches go every 10,000 miles. This is supposed to be the good one, but my biggest issue with this thing was only $8,800. The biggest issue was the transmission. Well, not really the transmission itself, but the electronic part.
The electronic part of it is bad, yep.
I needed a part. It was $2,600, and Wizard couldn't even program this. What is it?
The mechatronics.
The mechatronics. How could I forget that word? Mechatronics.
Mechatronics.
$2,600 for this part, and it has to be programmed by a Maserati Ferrari dealer or someone who has the right computer, which Wizard, he has his beard of knowledge. He has tons of tools and computers, but he does not have that.
No.
So it's just cheaper to get an entire used transmission. The transmissions, these sell for $1,000, $1,500, and I didn't have to pay anything thanks to J&J Auto Wrecking. They've been hooking me up with all the cars in the Hoopty fleet, so support them. They carry all makes and models, weird European cars. They actually just took stock of a Maserati Quattroporte just to help me out with the transmission. So if you need something on one of these, call them. They have stuff on Wagoneers. They have stuff on everything. They're able to take care of me. Even the Prius.
They'll soon have a Rolls.
And they bought your Rolls Royce, that's right.
Yeah.
You've given up on it. So what are you going to do with this transmission, Wizard?
The first thing I'm going to do is just swap out the mechatronics, because this one's programmed for this car. Just swap over the mechatronics, and there's a good chance that will take care of it.
So all the electronic parts will swap into this, and hopefully it'll work. But if it doesn't, then you have a whole transmission to replace if need be.
Yep, we have it here, so.
The Prius is alive.
It is alive.
Look.
Look at the remnants.
That's the original engine.
So, Tyler, there's something I want to tell you. It actually broke 2 connecting rods.
Really?
It didn't, you can see it through there.
So I have one rod that's completely destroyed and it's locked. That's what put the big holes in the block, and the piston's just hanging out in there. And then the second one is, instead of being straight, it's just completely bent.
It's like S-shaped.
Poor Prius. But the new motor from J&J Auto Wrecking is in, and
it runs super.
Perfect.
Yep. Here's the
Let's
key.
check it out. Engine. There it is.
It's a happy car.
That's great. It's like nothing ever happened.
It's like you went back in time to get your car back.
Right. We can just go out there and push the button again and do it again, right?
Oh, I've disabled all that.
Oh, you have? Well, that's probably good, because this was a little expensive. Even with the free engine from J&J, how much is it setting me back?
A little over $2,000, $2,100.
That's seriously?
Yeah.
For a Prius engine swap?
It pays more hours on the book time to remove and replace this motor than it does on your 996 turbo.
So fixing a 996 turbo engine in and out is cheaper than a Prius engine swap?
Yes.
How?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
At least I've sold it. I've sold it for more than that bill, and it's going to a pretty big YouTube channel out on the West Coast. I can't really say who it is because it's a surprise for who's getting it, but that'll be really fun when it shows up and we can do an unveil there. So one done, and then there's another one finished that I am really, really excited about. Oh, Wizard.
Here's the bell of the ball here.
This is the most beautiful thing ever. My 66 Imperial Crown Convertible by Chrysler. 440 V8 engine, silky smooth. These things are so well built, so overbuilt. This thing rivaled Rolls-Royce, Cadillac, the best of them in 1966. I think it's the best luxury car offered in 1966. Let's go through, what have you done to this thing?
Well, we put a rear main seal in to take care of your oil leak.
Right.
We also fixed your dash rattle.
Oh, that was so annoying. There were multiple rattles, yeah.
Yeah, and then we got the heat riser fixed, so
Great.
it doesn't rattle anymore. We got a pinion seal on your rear differential so it doesn't sling oil everywhere.
No more leaks for a minute.
Yeah, for a minute. And we did an oil change on it, of course, and we fixed your squeaky steering wheel.
Fantastic. So, how much was all that?
$680.
So he came under budget from your original estimate. I think your original estimate was $800.
Yeah.
Yes. So the steering squeak wasn't a big deal?
No, there's a little bushing actually right by the firewall. It's a rubber bushing.
Yeah.
I just put some sperm whale oil on it.
You didn't put sperm whale oil
Well,
on
sure
it.
I
The
did.
seats were coated with sperm whale oil from the factory, and that had Wizard all freaked out. But it was normal to put sperm whale oil on everything back in the day. They don't do that anymore because you don't want to kill whales, but
Yeah, I have that stuff on eBay,
great.
but it's not squeaking anymore.
It's not squeaking anymore, no more leaks, no more squeaks, no more rattles. I can finally enjoy this car. I can't wait to take this thing out. But before I go, there is one thing that showed up here at the Wizard shop that's going to give you a hint on what my next car is. Yes, looky here. These are actually pretty hard to find. These 8-hole 16-inch Mercedes wheels that you can find on the SL, but most of them are all chewed up and beat up. But this wider set of 16-inch wheels is also shared with one other very special Mercedes sedan that was made in the 90s, and I bought the cheapest one in the country. If you can think of a mid-90s Mercedes sedan that has a really cool story that's really going up in value, that's what I got, except it's really cheap. I got a great deal on these wheels, found them on eBay, and they came with tires, which is great. That'll save me several $100s.
I just shined my flashlight here and look at the date code, the 16th week of 2002.
So there are kids graduating high school that are younger than these tires.
Yes, those are old.
Oh, well, I guess I need tires then. I guess the tread does look
They're
really
like
old.
17 years old.
Well, they are in good shape, and they were a really good deal. But I don't care. I'm going to go drive this Imperial. It's staring at me.
Well, actually, I got a bill for you to pay.
I was hoping he was going to forget about that. Totally squeak and rattle free on a 50-year-old car. That's pretty impressive. These things are just so well built. And it was only $680 to completely sort this Imperial. Oh, I am one happy dude. I don't care that I'm gonna get fried like a lobster on the way home. Top down all the way cruising. Thank you for watching.